The Force Awakens premiered 10 years ago this month, and I have a lot of things to say about this movie. I am a big Star Wars fan, and I was a fan of The Force Awakens when it was released in 2015. I mean, the time was awesome. Like, we were getting new Star Wars movies, and Disney had just acquired the franchise, and they were starting with episode 7. I mean, like, how can you not be excited for that? Like, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and Harrison Ford were returning to the franchise, and we were getting like new characters as well. It was a direct continuation of Return of the Jedi, something that we thought was never gonna happen. But Lucas sold the company to Disney, and The Force Awakens came out in 2015, directed by J.J. Abrams. And at the time, I thought that J.J. Abrams was the perfect guy to direct the film because he directed the first two Star Trek movies, which I enjoyed. I liked the 2009 reboot, and I think that Into Darkness is fine. It's not the best Star Trek movie by any means, but it's just a fine film. I know it's got a lot of criticisms over the years, and I understand. I much prefer the first installment of the series. But I was a fan of J.J. Abrams back then, and I was a fan of Lost. Lost is still my favorite TV show, and he started that, so like I was on board with the decision of him directing The Force Awakens. But as time went on, and after seeing the film like a bunch of times, I have changed my tune a little bit about this movie. I don't hate The Force Awakens, but it does feel kind of pointless to me now, especially having seen all three movies of the sequel trilogy. I think that this movie feels like a remake of A New Hope, which was maybe the best idea at the time for it, but right now I think the movie has aged poorly because it's the same story that we've already gotten, and I think that hurt the franchise overall. They should have really focused on the New Republic instead of destroying it right from the start. I think that was one of the biggest mistakes of The Force Awakens, is that we have a new resistance and the Empire is already like super huge. Like, we don't see it grow, we don't see it like become this menacing threat. It kind of was like that in the Thrawn trilogy, which was really awesome, by the way. The Thrawn trilogy is probably like the true episodes 7, 8, and 9 for a lot of people. Just because Thrawn is like the true successor to Darth Vader as the next villain, as the next big bad. And I think that this movie needed Thrawn. Like, The Force Awakens should have had Thrawn like directing this new remnant of the Empire against the New Republic. I'm not loving what they're doing with Thrawn in live action so far, but maybe they're going to change it around in season 2. I think that would have been a much more interesting story idea than a rehash of A New Hope. And I don't really love the First Order in this movie. They are really not interesting. And of course, Starkiller Base, I think, is completely useless in this film. I think that this movie would have been a lot better without Starkiller Base. And I feel like all of Force Awakens is A New Hope complaints would have ceased if J.J. Abrams hadn't made third Death Star in this film. I think that was the biggest mistake this movie made. Like, I really love Andy Serkis, but Snoke isn't interesting at all. And while he does more in The Last Jedi, it's unfortunate that he dies so early and that he never comes back. And I feel like they had no idea who Snoke was from the beginning. They just put him there, and they put a really good actor in the role. Benny Serkis did a great job. Character of Snoke was kind of boring, and he didn't really do much. I think that the characters saved this movie. To be quite honest with you, like, the characters are really well done. Like, I think that Rey is still a good protagonist. I really enjoy Daisy Ridley. I know a lot of people don't, but I think that she is still good in this film. Despite where her character ends up in The Rise of Skywalker, I still think that she is a good character here, and I like her story in this film. Adam Driver as Kylo Ren is probably my favorite part of this entire trilogy. He is fantastic as the character. I like that he wants to be just like Darth Vader, and he is afraid that he will never live up to his grandfather's legacy. And he plays him beautifully. Adam Driver was perfect for the role. He has really good moments. I love the tantrums that he makes. Like I love that he has anger issues. I think that he is a very well written character here. He is an interesting villain. I think that Oscar Isaac as Poe Dameron was really a fantastic casting as well. He is really good as Poe Dameron, and he is just one of my favorite parts of the film. John Boyega as Finn is probably the weakest person out of this cast, in my opinion. I don't think that John Boyega is the strongest actor, to be quite honest with you, and he does a lot of humor here that doesn't really work. It takes me out of film a lot, and I think, yeah, a lot of actors could have done a better job than John Boyega, to be quite honest with you. The movie always keeps you entertained. Like, it's never boring. The visuals are really astonishing. Like, it's a great looking movie, and I like that they use practical sets here. Like, you can tell that they're really in this environment and they're not surrounded by green screens or blue screens like the prequels were. This movie looks great, and I think that's the biggest compliment I can give it, that it looks amazing. Like J.J. Abrams is a really good visual storyteller. He's not a very good writer, but he is a very good visual storyteller, and here the visuals look amazing. I don't like the mystery box of this movie. I don't like the entire mystery revolving around Luke and him going missing on this island. I think that impact would have been of him like coming into the picture much before than the last scene of this film. I think that it would have been much like better for the story overall. Like Mark Hamill says, that he should have been the one to catch the lightsaber in the snow. I think that would have been a much more satisfying entrance for Luke Skywalker. Like it was right there. They should have done that instead of them going to find him on the island. In my opinion, I think that it would have been a much stronger reveal and a better way to end this film. And I just don't like that he doesn't speak in this film, and we see him for like 30 seconds or a minute at the most. And then we had to wait 2 years to see more of Luke, and a lot of people were disappointed with what we saw in The Last Jedi of Luke. And so, yeah, I don't like this movie as much as I once did. I think that there's a lot of good moments. The best part of this movie is the Chewie we're home moment by far, when we see Harrison Ford as Han Solo and Chewbacca come in the Falcon. Again, I think that's the best moment of the film. I think that Carrie Fisher's fine here in the film. It's nice to see her again. It's nice to see R2 again and C-3PO. But yeah, like I said, the movie is just like fine because J.J. Abrams did not know a lot of answers to the mystery that he raises, and I think that is a sign that he is a weak storyteller. He did the same thing on Lost. He started big mysteries, and he just did not know where they were going. Like in the hatch, he knew he wanted a hatch there on the island, but he did not know what was going to be in that hatch. So that's just telling, in my opinion, that he doesn't know a lot of the answers of these mystery boxes that he creates. So yeah, I'd give The Force Awakens like a B, a solid B. It's not the best Star Wars movie. It's entertaining enough. The music is really good. I love Rey's theme. John Williams never disappoint. And I don't know if it's like the best out of the sequel trilogy. Maybe it is. I have to think about that. Like I really enjoyed The Last Jedi, but yeah, I think that this kind of hurt the original trilogy because it feels like the ending of Return of the Jedi sort of doesn't matter almost, because the Empire is like back. It almost feels meaningless. So let me know what you think about The Force Awakens 10 years later, and how your thoughts and opinions might have changed from 2015. Let me know down in the comments below. Please like, comment, subscribe, and see you next time.